How did Too Short become financially free? We will be covering his music and investments. Starting with some background, Too Short born Todd Shaw is an Oakland-based music artist turned legend. His beginnings in music started while in high school playing the drums for the band and began pioneering West Coast hip-hop starting in 1983. To jumpstart his career, Too Short and high school friend Freddie B would record customized songs called Special Requests, later starting the record label Dangerous Music together. From Too Short's debut album in 1983 to his last release in 2022, he has witnessed and was a part of the evolution of music, capitalizing on his success along the way. Now, before we talk about investments, we need to talk about the music and label. Going into music, Too Short has released over 36 projects in his career so far, of which 21 are studio albums. His first time achieving gold status, equivalent to 500,000 album sales, was in 1987 on the album Born to Mac. After that, his next 6 albums would go platinum, each equivalent to 1 million album sales, with the 1989's Life is Too Short going double platinum. Too Short went platinum every release from 1989 to 1996, then had 2 gold albums for 1999's Can't Stay Away and 2000's You Nasty. What a run that is, especially considering the difficulty of maintaining such high sales over the course of 7 years. There is a reason Too Short is considered a pioneer of West Coast music, and that is reflected in those sales numbers and the influence he would have for generations. As for his label situation, Too Short got his start on the label 75 Girls for the release of his first few albums between 1983 and 1986. By 1987, Too Short would get the attention of other labels, including Jive Records, where he would sign and release half of his discography with over 13 albums from 1987 to 2007. While on Jive is where Too Short saw massive success with the 6 platinum and 3 gold albums. Going back to 1985 though is where Too Short would start his own label with Freddie B called Dangerous Music. Throughout its time, Dangerous Music has gone through a few name changes like Short Records or Up All Night Records during the mid-2000s. After finishing with Jive in 2007, the rest of Too Short's music has been through Dangerous Music. Overall, when we talk about music, Too Short is a pioneer of West Coast rap and put almost a decade of platinum selling albums out while on his rise to legendary status. He gained experience working with various record labels, which would be beneficial for his own Dangerous Music. From the high sales and the success that Too Short has achieved, he has been expanding his business outside of music with investments. The main investment I want to cover for Too Short was his $1 million investment in 2016 to the digital boombox in Los Angeles. This investment comes in the form of an entrepreneurship venture to start a creative center that can be used for a concert venue, recording studios, and various other content creation tools. As for why Too Short wanted to start this creative center, it's because he wanted to create a more cost-effective space for himself and for other artists while still getting the best quality. Something interesting to add is that upcoming artists can sign to the studio with a slight twist. A lot of the time we see artists sign their ownership rights away, but Too Short does it differently. Too Short will match the signed artists dollar for dollar on what they are willing to invest in their career, creating a profit split instead of a royalty split. I think that is a good way to use his influence to push new artists while not taking advantage of them like we see so often. The Digital Boombox Creative Center in Los Angeles was started in 2016 and is still running. Overall, when we talk about investments, there is an opportunity of growth for Too Short in this space. Still, he has made good investments into his career through his own label, or now the Boombox. He also has talked about being well diversified in stocks and bonds, pushing towards long-term financial stability. Not everything is public too, so he may have a lot more he has not talked about. While Too Short has a good foot in the door with investments, I have a feeling he will knock that door down in the next step of his career. This leads me to the question, what is next for Too Short? The legend is still releasing music till this day. He hasn't released released a solo album since 2019, so we may be getting that soon as he releases music once every few years. He did just have a collaborative album with E40, Ice Cube, and Snoop Dogg this past year. I can't foresee him having any major changes to his record label this late in his career, since things seem to be running smoothly independently. As for investments, this is a space I can see a lot of growth in. Too Short does have the digital boombox center that has been growing since 2016, and I can see more entrepreneurship ventures coming. That's just who Too Short is. I would be very interested in hearing more about investments into startups or established companies, as he has the connections and leverage to do so. I'll make sure to cover any new investments here on my channel. What is next for Too Short? Living off the legacy he has built, still expanding in areas of interest. In summary, Too Short started his music journey in the early 1980s and is still releasing music 40 years later. Too Short is a pioneer of hip-hop who has been a part of the evolution to see where it is today. During the 90s, he had almost a decade of platinum-selling albums, setting himself up for long-term financial success where we see him today. Too Short has been building up a legacy for decades, allowing him to live financially free. And that is how Too Short became financially free. I hope you found this video informational. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, as well as let me know who I should talk about next. This week I have talked a lot about the Bay Area with Larry June and E40, so I figured let's finish it strong with Too Short. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.